So I've got my Kyber board here. It's already set up on the web interface for the button pad layout here. I've got my TDR10 feeding the S-bus out into the S-bus pin of the Kyber, and just a little speaker plugged into the speaker port. And you can trigger the various sound effects just like normal from the Kyberpad touchscreen interface. But if you want to use the push buttons on the back of the radio, you can do that as well to trigger a specific sound effect or a specific button from the Kyberpad here. To do that, you'll go into the mixes under model setup area, mixes, and here I have the Kyberpad source Lua set to channel 12. So I'll click on this mix and I'll just clone it. And I will now edit the cloned mix. For the active condition, you don't want it to be always on because it's going to completely replace your button pad. So you want to change it to be always, instead of always on, just when you click this button. So you'll click the button and hold it in, and you'll see it's SJ down. If you accidentally let go of the button, it'll switch back up to SJ up, but you want it to be only active when that button is held down. So I'm holding the button down. I'll click off of the screen. And now, as you can see, when I release the button, it's not active. As I click the button, this mix becomes active. The next thing I'm going to change is the source. So I'll change the source to be this button again on the back right. So this time you can just click the button, it will automatically register the button. And then for operation, you want to change this to replace so that it will replace the Kyberpad touchpad mix. The last thing you're going to want to set up is the weight. So I'm going to edit this weight. And in this case, I'm going to just hold the button down and start scrolling through until it starts triggering some of the sound effects. But let's say, for example, you don't want to have to play a guessing game to figure out these sound effects at what weight that they trigger. So you can go back up to the home screen and click on the Configure Screens button. I'm going to click on the screen 2, which is my Kyberpad. Change the layout. I will choose the 2 stacked windows, so the Kyberpad will be on top. For this bottom one, I'll change the widget to be value. And for the value, I want to display the channels and channel 12, which is the Kyberpad 1 mix. So you can see at rest, it's negative 100%. If you want to trigger scream, that's negative 89, or alarm 1, negative 67. Short out was negative 56. March, negative 24. So let's say I want to trigger the march. I'll go back into my mixes, edit the SJ mix, and set that to negative 24. Now when I click the button, it will trigger the march sound effect. And you can create multiple of these replace functions to use the other switches, like the function switches. There's a few different ways that you can go about creating this. You can even have them all under one mix using a logic function to detect whether it should be active or not. But this is just the quick basic setup way of using a momentary button to trigger a certain sound effect. So do is negative 34. I'll set it to -34. And then to just get your Kyberpad looking normal again, you'll go back into the configure screens, change the screen layout again, and just select the normal full page layout.